Hey guys, happy incoming Halloween. So this next Halloween video will be a book-based video. Now, I know I've always wanted to do more book blogging, because basically I'm addicted to reading. I love reading. So this Halloween video will be me recommending some fantastically scary titles that you should read this Halloween. I know I've left it a little bit late with some of the Halloween videos because I know we're more or less coming into late October, but it's just I've been busy and stuff and happens, stuff, you get busy and you try to, but I'm definitely going to try and get as much content as I can before we reach 31st of October, so looking forward to that. So anyway, here are some fantastic Halloween fiddlesticks. So anyway, let's get going. Here are some fantastic spooky titles you should consider reading this Halloween. Let's go. So guys, the first book I want to recommend to you is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. So The Woman in Black, it's about this young upcoming solicitor called Arthur Kipps who goes to settle the affairs and attend the funeral of a recently deceased wealthy woman called Alice Drablow. And while at the funeral, he glimpses this very pale, tragic, mysterious woman dressed all in black. All in black. But when he asks about her, everyone's like, nope, never heard of her. No, never ever mention her again. Never speak of her again. Because the people in the town are obviously very scared of her, or they know they can see her, but they don't want to talk about her. So then when he goes to her, her old house, her creepy old house, to go to settle her affairs at the house. The house is also blocked off by a causeway, so when the causeway floods, you're stuck in the house. So he goes there for a few days. So he's on his own in this big creepy old house, going through the papers, and he delves deeper into the Drablow family's secrets and tragedies, and unearths a dark, terrible secret curse which will doom anyone who glimpses the Woman in Black. I don't want to spoil what it is, but if you read this, it will scare the hell out of you. It is actually really chilling, and why she does what she does, and why if you see her, you're fucked. Excuse my language. Excuse my language. But it's just such a well-written ghost story, guys. I love it. And like, the house itself, Alice Drablow's house, I think it's called, first one I checked, it is called Ale Marsh House. It feels like a character in itself, because every creak of a stair, every corner, every shadow, you don't know if she's there. Is she watching? Is she behind him? Is she in front? You don't know. It's just, the house really adds to the mystery and the fright, and the intrigue and the scare factor. So it's a really well written ghost story, and so if you're looking for a really classic ghost story to pick up, then this is one I highly recommend. So guys, the second book I want to recommend to you is a classic piece of detective fiction, and it is The Hound of the Baskervilles. So, to give you a rundown of the plot, when Sir Charles Baskerville is found dead in his country estate, Baskerville Hall, everyone believes it is a cause of the mysterious curse of the Baskervilles, of the Hound of the Baskervilles, an eerie, frightening, spectral hound, hound, more appropriately, who will kill off any Baskerviller who tries to live happily in Baskerville Hall. So Sherlock Holmes becomes drawn into the case and sends Watson down with the new heir, Sir Henry Baskerville, and they try to figure out what's going on. They become drawn in. There's a lot of other stuff going on, like an escaped convict and a lot of mysterious stuff going on the moors beside the house. So it is, guys, it's a classic piece of fiction, and it almost feels, the reason why I recommend it is a Halloween read, because it's set in this very moorish, dark area, so it's very eerie and spooky. So when they're in the moors, like, you don't know whether the convict or the hound's going to jump out. So, and the solution to the mystery itself, which I will not spoil, by the way, is very ingenious. It's classic detective fiction, but it's such a well-written story, and you don't know who to suspect, who can you trust. And one of the things, guys, I find what makes a good story spooky is description. There's some really good spooky descriptions of when they're going around the moors at night and you hear the howl of the hound, or you hear someone. It's really eerie and spooky. So guys, if if you enjoy a good piece of detective fiction, then I strongly recommend you pick this one up. Guys, the third Halloween reading recommendation, and this is probably, I think, my favourite horror novel of all time, and it is Dracula. This is probably one of the greatest, it is the greatest vampire novel of all time. So it's a great, so basically, Dracula, the king, I'll call him the king of the vampires, or Prince of Darkness, is a vampire, and he comes to Victorian England to snare new victims. to ensnare new victims, and as he goes, and it's up to Dr. Van Helsing and Dr. Seward and Jonathan Harker and all these men to stop him before he turns Jonathan Harker's fiancée Mina Murray into a vampire, before she becomes his latest bride. So it's all about... So guys, one of the reasons this is such a fantastic book to read, it's I actually meant to read this for Halloween, but I've been busy. I still have another book to finish. So it's just so good. It's just like the descriptions are written so well, like of Dracula's castle, or when he appears, because he can appear as anything. He can appear as old, young, a bat, a wolf, a dog. Well, actually, no, I think the wolf is a dog, but it's fantastically written. And Dracula himself is such an elegant, menacing, elegant, menacing, vicious character. He's probably one of the greatest literary characters ever, if you ask me. But it is such a well-written story, and you'll really enjoy it. I mean, there's so much goes on in the story, from going into Dracula's castle, from his 3 menacing brides, to him snaring and killing Lucy turning into a vampire, and then them having to kill us. It's a thrill. It's so much goes on in the story, but it's such a great read. I love this book. This is going to be, I think, on my top 10 favourite books ever list, which is a vlog I still have yet to do. But no guys, if you're in the market for a good vampire novel, then I strongly recommend Dracula. It is phenomenal. So guys, the 4th Halloween reading recommendation I have for you is the classic detective story. Well, not technically, it's classic mystery story by Agatha Christie, and it is And Then There Were None. So you're probably wondering, why am I recommending this for Halloween? Well, the reason I'm recommending it is, it's basically, the premise of it, it's kind of like a horror movie. So all these people, 10 people, well including the 2 staff, 10 people are summoned to this remote island for what they think is each going to be some kind of social gathering, catch up with old friends. But as it turns out, each of them have committed a past crime, mainly murder. They've gotten away with something terrible, a crime, murder, manslaughter, killing someone. Well, basically, it seems to be more they've all killed before, and they've all been brought to this island by a mysterious figure known as Mr. UN Owens, to face justice for their crimes. And basically, they all start dying. So, as it turns out, UN Owen is in actual fact a play on the expression, or the word, unknown. And the more horrific thing turns out to be that Mr. Owen is not some mysterious figure. Mr. Owens is one of the people amongst them. So the big question is, who is it? Which of them is Mr. Owens? Is it the soldier? Is it the army general? Is it the judge? Like, I mean, it's so, you don't know who, none of them know who to trust, and the fear factor between all of them is just so classic. And with this book, you don't know who's going to be next, and each death is more gorier, whether it's poison, pushed off a cliff, or hacked to death by an axe. The fear factor in this novel is just so good. It's just so chilling and spooky. It's a fantastic story, and again, probably another one of my favourite books ever. Actually, one of my favourite out of the Christies, but it's one of these stories where you don't know what's around the corner, who will be next, will anyone get off the island alive, and the solution itself is ingenious, and I'm not going to spoil it, but this is a fantastic story, and yeah, and like I said, it's sort of like a premise of a horror movie. Basically, people die. People are killed by a maniac. That's basically, it's like a horror. It's almost like a literary version of a horror movie. So I really suggest you should check this out. The 5th and final book in ours, I decided I wanted to keep this list short. I actually decided I just reduced this list to do this list about 5 books. Just about 5. So anyway, guys, the 5th and final book in our list is Stephen King's, and I think this is probably my favourite Stephen King book ever. I've yet to read the rest of them, but I think this will become my favourite, is Stephen King's Pet Sematary. This book is effing creepy, and it will make your hair stand on end. It's just an example of how well it's written. So to give you a quick rundown of the plot, this family, mum, dad, little girl, little younger son, all moved to this area. Cat dies. He is taken by this really weirdo neighbour to this pet cemetery area, which he's worn a line not worn to cross by a ghost. And so he buries the cat, but the thing about the pet cemetery is what you bury there comes back to life. But sometimes, and is constantly referred to in the novel and in the feature film adaptations, is that sometimes dead is better. And as they find out, not bringing back something you care about from the dead does not always work out how you want it to. The cat, when he comes back from the dead, is really creepy, and it's so weird. And it eventually leads to tragedy and dark actions and all, but it's just such a fantastic written book. It's mixed up in the whole idea of Indian folklore and ancient Indian burial grounds. The whole idea of some kind of Indian monster. Oh, I can't remember what you call it. It's some kind of... It's got like the head of a stag or something. It's like some kind of monster that guards the pet cemetery. You glimpse it and hear of it several times in the book. But it's a fantastic story, guys. It's so well written. Stephen King is phenomenal, is a phenomenal writer. He wrote this book so beautifully. It's scary. It will make your hair stand on end. And when you get to the darker parts, you'll be like, oh God, I want to put this down. But that's just an example of how good a book it is. Okay guys, thanks for checking out this video and me recommending 5 books you should read this Halloween. So definitely next year I will do another 5 books you should read for Halloween video. Probably do it a lot earlier, early October I'd say. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for further Halloween content. And also, as I said, I'm hoping to pump out a lot more content before the 31st. So anyway guys, again, thanks for watching this video and have a great Halloween and see you soon. Sorry, that's not scary, that's creepy. So I could do this. No, I'll just say bye.